Okay, I'm with Conney Williams. We're talking about his albums with an S.
Yes.
So I'm so happy. I really, really love it. I love both of them. I have I listen to the Love one, and I love the Love one. The other one is the one that is always in my CD player in my car. So I'm really like, that one speaks to it. It's one of those. It's rare that you can have a poetry CD that you can just play all the time. Poetry CD. It is poetry. I mean, and I have poetry CDs, and I don't play mine all the time. A lot of times, poetry CDs are like, this isn't no diss, but the poetry CDs are like, you have to kind of really be in the mood for spoken word, or you have to like feel like hearing this particular poem. But with this CD, it plays all the time, and it speaks to if I feel like grooving. The music is groovable. The language is listenable to, all of that. So tell me about. So you said the ladies prefer the Love.
Well, I was just saying, it's a trip. I've been talking to my producer. Most of the women like the romantic one, River and Moan, and most of the guys like Unsettled Water, the conscious social CD. But as I was saying, the brothers who are like evolved, like the social CD and the romantic one. So I guess I'll have to call you an evolved sister. You like your romantic stuff, but you like the social stuff as well.
Love it. Certain quotes come in. The theme for me is track numbers 5 and 12. It's She Gone.
She Gone. Oh,
and you have the radio edit on track number 12. And the line that speaks to me is Storm's got a way of Storm's got a way of inviting
himself in your life. Bring buckets of heartache. Ain't nobody lift off of your chest but God.
Say more about that.
Wow, that's such a powerful poem for me, because it made me write it. It made me write it. When I saw the interview of this guy, Harvey Jackson, from Biloxi, Mississippi, wandering aimlessly lost after Hurricane Katrina.
So that was after a real person?
It was after a real person. His guy's name is Harvey Jackson from Biloxi, Mississippi. And a lot of it was just listening to him and him talking about losing his wife in the storm. So it's a real story, yeah. She Gone. His wife was pulled out of his hand and lost. She told him to let her go so that he could live, because he couldn't hold both of them. So.
That one I can listen to over and over again, even though it's sad. I think if I just absolutely had to pick a favorite, like somebody made me pick a favorite, it would be House Party. Because House Party, if I find out so much about you, and it's like, I want to be not just at that party, but I want to be in that time. I want to be on that block. I want to know you, Lee Arthur and Luther. I want to know why Teeny Winnie's dad emptied the gun into him over a change for a 10. I was like, well, he did what?
Emptied the gun into him over change for a 10.
And that's real.
That's real. Left him laying up against the fence, dead. Yeah.
So how old were you all during this time?
Well, that poem was written after both my friends had passed away.
Is the friends mentioned in the poem?
Luther and Lee Arthur, after they both had passed away.
Oh.
They passed away at separate times. Luther passed away in the 80s when he was shot, and my friend Lee Arthur he died in the late 80s, early 90s, late 90s. He died in the late 90s of cancer. So I remembered this one party. I used this one party that I went to as a kid when I was about maybe 15 or 16. And I used that as the basis for that, to describe all the house parties that I went to.
Okay.
I use that as the basis of all the house parties that I went to because it was such a good party. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to describe that feeling that I got, you know, that when you went to house parties back in the 70s. I mean,
well, you did a poet's job, because a poet's job is to make the reader, the listener, want to be like, I felt like I was there. I felt like any minute Lee Arthur was going to ask me to dance. And so you mentioning